Hello everybody, this is Ordaehn again. I'm bringing you another 1v1 on Steps of War. This time I'm in the bottom left corner, I am the Zerg, and I'm against Sheepy in the top right corner, he's the Terran. Speed things up just slightly. Once again, I want to thank anybody who's posted comments or responded to my videos. I've got a couple PMs, I don't have any of the comments on the messages, but I've also received a couple whispers, and I appreciate both the positive and some of the negative comments. You can always take criticism. Pretty standard for me. Once again, on this map, I do think it's really important to get a scout out early, especially against the Terran Reapers. Can wreak havoc on a Zerg who's expanding really early, and for that reason I'm going to do 11 pop out this extractor and get over there as quickly as possible. I do have some problems on this map with my hotkeys. My keyboard was being a little weird, and so you'll notice that I barter around with a couple of my units, and I'll point that out. That's something bad. You don't want to do that. And so what I do here is I block his barracks, as you can see, and I start attacking his SCV. He's getting no barracks built. He doesn't really know what to do. And so I've got this drone sitting here. He's either going to have to build the barracks over to the side, like he does there, and I'm going to go ahead and start attacking that SCV right away. And so he sends another SCV down to try to take out my drone. Or no, he's building a supply depot. Meanwhile, I do have my spawning pool started here, and he's scouting around a little bit there. I've gone ahead and killed off, or almost killed off that, and I'm scouting around a little bit just to check in the back. He goes for my my drone, and I'm going to go ahead and send it back out again and go after his SCVs. I blew up his first supply depot here, which is why he had to send another SCV down. And I'm going to go ahead and try to take out this other SCV. He did something that I have warned people about in the past. If you put a lot of supply depots here in the front, it's going to make you very vulnerable to taking damage. I just blew up the SCV he had over here. He's going to have to send another one down, so he's losing SCVs. He's also getting slowed down by everything, and so I've almost got this up. I'm just about to get this expansion, but like I was saying, I'm having really hard problems with my hotkeys right now. It's pissing me off, so the drone is just sitting here. None of my hotkeys are working, and I don't usually click on things, so there it goes. It's finally in there. I've got way too many minerals, and for that reason, because I did such a decent job of distracting him in the back here, I'm going to go ahead and get this SCV, and then I lose my drone a little bit later, but I'm going to go and build a geyser here to get a scout on him. I'd rather do that. It's going to cost me 25 minerals. And on top of that, I've started up this other one here. As soon as I pop out the queen there, I'm going to go ahead and speed things up just slightly, and I'm going to get this hatchery over here because I want to pick up all these minerals as fast as possible. That way I can use this just as a gas response and just pump out a bunch of drones over here. So that was a little bit of an accident on my part. However, I did get a good job, or do a good job of harassing him, and because of that reason, he's a little behind. He can only build one refinery. He has quite a few minerals, but no gas yet. He was so busy trying to get his stuff up that he's got a couple supply depots, a few marines, but nothing else really. So I'm going to go scout him with these lings, and get some other stuff, and he totally has no clue that I have this hatchery over here. Top of that, I got a roach warren and an evo chamber going in. I know that he's going to have to get ground. He had no way to get anything else because I could see all the stuff he had in the back here. And for that reason, I'm going to go ahead and get roaches. So as promised, I'm getting some spine crawlers here. I guess it's going to get sped up here very quickly. And we've got queens who are pumping larvae into these. So I'm getting my first ranged upgrade. I know that I can't get the other one till after, of course, but the larvae are going ahead, ticking through here. I didn't get the Zergling speed upgrade because I knew he wasn't getting Reapers at this point. He didn't have anything really here. He does get a couple of turrets, which don't make a lot of sense, but I mean, what can you do? He upgrades his supply depot because he's out. He's kind of locked himself in the back there, and he still has not taken out this extractor, which is a little stupid. He's got plenty of marines, just not paying attention. It's a pretty standard noob mistake. However, I'm pumping a queen out here, and I've got queens on all these other ones, and I'm getting everything else over here. So he's going to go ahead, get his pretty standard marine build here, trying to mass those up and go for a factory to fix up what he's got in the background here. So it's got a couple of turrets, which is going to make it hard for me to get roaches burrowed in there, but I'm not too worried about it. I've started pumping out things here. I've got queens here, and I'm getting as much onto the minerals as I can. I'm going to go ahead as soon as possible and start getting some expansions in the back here. Or extractors, sorry, not expansions. so I can get the gas started to match up with the minerals that I'm going to have here. Pretty soon I'm going to have a mammoth economy, and he's going to be pretty far behind. So going ahead, I got overlords spread out a little bit. I'm going to get a couple spread out in the base. That way, as soon as I go ahead and tech this to a layer, I'm going to be able to get some creeps spread all over the place. I do get a couple of creep colonies over here. Well, a little bit of lag there. Having some video card issues, I guess. And so I go ahead and get a couple of creep or spine crawlers here. And I do have quite a few roaches in the background. A couple more spine crawlers here, as I know he's getting ground. So he's getting his starport. I haven't scouted him for a little while now. That doesn't really bother me. I put him back far enough. So I got a few roaches. I am upgrading this to a layer now. I'm getting pretty good economy over here. I've got the queen here, and she's getting larva injected. I got larva on all my hatcheries here, and I do have the first upgrade here, and I'm going for my ground carapace. So this turret is going to make it difficult for me to come in and do a whole lot. However, Marines do not do well at all whatsoever, period, against roaches. And so I've got the roaches there. I do have a couple upgrades on them. This is going to tech up here pretty quick, and I've got him swamped on the economy. As you can probably check from the units, I've got him 28 to 36, and I do have the advanced minerals over here. So I got rich mineral field, and I'm starting to get extractors on these secondaries because I'm going to get so many minerals from this one. I'm not too worried about it. You both harvest a little faster, and you do get additional minerals from the patches over here, so they do help quite a bit. Still haven't upgraded there. I'm going to start getting the tunneling claws here. I want them more than the speed at this point, and I've got quite a few zerglings, quite a few roaches, and this is going to turn into a shakedown here in a little while. So I'm going to go ahead, get some creeps spread around, give me the additional movement speed I need. And I got a couple more overlords moving over here. He's got some medevacs he's going to lift Marines over to here with, and again, I don't really mind if I lose this. I've gotten enough minerals out of it that it's not going to bother me that much. If he drops in there, he's going to have enough problems as it is. So I do get a scout on that. Notice that he's got quite a few Marines. I've got a ton of these here, and he goes ahead and takes out what he can here. I knew I wasn't going to get over there to save it in time, so there's no point in doing a whole lot. I do pop out some lings here, which doesn't really matter to him. He's going to go in and try to take out what I have in my base. And I just got the upgrades on these roaches, and so they have... I got the lings over here, and these roaches could have burrowed. They don't need it, though, against Marines. They're going to just chew them up real quick. And he's going to lose a medevac almost to that queen there. I'm not too worried about taking anything out. But I am getting my second upgrade, and I'm keeping him held back. There's not a big need for it. However, in the background, I did send these roaches into his base to take out all of his Marines. And so I had enough roaches left behind. And I went and picked off what he had. I know we missed that, and I could go back. I guess I will, just slightly, to try to catch to where I just came into his base with the roaches, and just before that, I picked off all of his Marines. It's very easy to do with roaches. They just chew through Marines like it's nothing. Even with the stim pack, they have relatively heavy armor, and you can just burrow them to just distract, go in there, take out a couple of supply depots, and it's over. So, and that's the end of that. Moving in here, he did a decent job of getting the medevacs. You know, he dropped the factory onto the reactor. I don't really know what he's planning on doing by dropping this down here, but he'll do the best that he can. I'm going to take out the turrets so I can burrow freely, and he's going to chase his SCVs around. So I've got good gas mining here. I got quite a few minerals, and I did pop out some zerglings here. I was going to pop out another drone and build a hatchery there, but I knew the game was over at this point. He's not going to get any sort of units out here. So at this point, he does kind of waste my time. I asked him about it a little later. He said he was trying to get a fortress, but he's just lifting off his buildings and flying them out. And so he may have got a fortress there. It's not going to stop me, though. I don't know why he's wasting his time, but it does happen. So I clean out most of his base, and that will probably be the end of him. And so he's got an orbital command there. He does respond to that, just saying he's trying to get a fortress up. But worse things have happened, I suppose. So thanks for watching. I'll have a couple more, like I had mentioned, in the last replay this weekend.